Hi, yogis. I hope you're doing all amazing. I just wanted to give you another recording. So this will be a 20-minute flow, level 2, 20 minutes, because we know that during this time we don't have much, during the holidays, we don't have, much time, but we want to keep moving. So this will be, expect approximately 20 minutes of yoga to get you moving, get you grounded. Let's start into a downward facing dog straight away. Feet hip width distance, hands shoulder width distance, index parallel to the side of the mat. Nice opening of the shoulders, sending the hips high and sending the heels down. And let's just do a few waves. So lift your heels around the lower back, round the middle back, round the upper back, come into your high plank and push the earth away. And then exhale, just let the hips sink, keeping the toes tucked for this variation of your up dog. And then chin to chest, rounding the back as much as you can and sending the hips back, the heels down, downward facing dog. Maybe even bring the head towards the mat to just open slightly the shoulders. And just one more time, lifting the heels, rounding the lower back, pubic bone to navel, middle back, upper back, charging the cobra, shoulder over wrist, pushing the earth away, and then slowly letting the hips sink slightly. Good. And then pushing them back into you, downward facing dog. Lifting the right leg up, bring the knee to the chest, lifting the left heel. The right knee is coming forward. The knee is in between the shoulders. Push the earth away. Right foot in between your hands. Back heel down 90 degrees. Let's move straight away in a warrior two. So warrior two, looking forward to the middle finger of your right hand, checking that you can see your right big toe in your inner knee, checking the position of the back foot, and really magnetizing the legs towards another, engaging your warrior, awakening the warrior within. Flip the palm and simply reverse, reach back, keeping the right knee over the right ankle, reaching, and then slowly right arm inside the right foot, windmill the left arm down and forward for an extended side angle. Some of you may want to take a bind if you're used to binding, and if it's part of your practice, use the bind, trying to really lengthen the right side of the ribs as well. So if you're binding, you look over the left shoulder. Good. And then unbind, coming up just to reverse your trikonasana, squeezing the glutes. And then bend the right knee. We're going to move into half moon pose. So maybe some of you will use the block in front of the right foot, slide the left toes open. Can you still see me? Yes, good. Don't hesitate to bend that top leg and grab the foot. Press the foot into your hand, keeping the right big toe pressing down onto the mat. And then you release. Slow is the key word to transition into a warrior two to Skandasana. Good. Skandasana. Sit down and wrap the triceps over the chin bone, making a little bind, just letting the head go down. Good. Just taking a few breaths in here. Then release. Maybe you use your hands, maybe not. You lift. And we're going to fly forward, right hand forward. Simply windmill the hands. Lift the left heel. Bend the right knee. And just send the right leg back. Take your chaturanga, bend the elbows or drop the knees. Maybe knees, chest, chin from here. And then curling the spine, pubic bone to navel, navel to the spine. Lift your chest, lift your heart, up dog. And lift your hips. For downward facing dog. And it's just sending the heels down. Maybe opening the shoulders. Checking your hands. Shoulder width distance. Gauging Ujjayi breath. Same on the left side, so lifting the left leg, heel to glutes, knee to chest, coming forward, left foot in between your hands, back heel down, unfold, Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2, So magnetizing the feet, checking your hands alignment. One line, checking the left between your inner knee, making sure the hips are open. Nicely, the legs engaged, flip and reverse. Keeping the left knee over the left ankle. Good. And then slowly left arm inside the left foot. Don't hesitate to take the block here. If you want the block, right hand is coming down and forward. We aim for one straight line from the middle finger of your right hand to the right heel. If you're binding, feel free to bind. So here it's good that you see my back because I often see binds that are like this. Whatever is the size of your glutes, try to hinge towards the knee. Look over the right shoulder. Magnetize the feet strong into the legs. And then we release and we move into a reverse trikonasana, reaching back, keeping the legs strong. And then slowly, half moon pose. Left arm in front of the left foot, slide the toes. Power in that top leg. Remember, you want to have everything engaged, no fluffy foot or hands. Engaged. And maybe you take that variation, bending the knee, pressing the foot into your hand, really feeling the stretch into the shoulders. And release the foot. Keep everything active. Warrior two to a skandasana. And letting the hips sink down. And here you can see the bind from the back. Reach. And just let the head go down. Feeling the stretch on the level of the neck. Forehead is tilting forward. And then you release. Maybe you use your hands or not. You fly forward. Good. And simply windmill the hands onto the mat. Push the earth away. Bend that left knee. 3, 2, 1. Send the left leg back. Bend the elbows in for chaturanga. Option to drop the knees, the chest, and the chin, glutes high. Pressing onto the knees to lift your heart, lift your chest. Urdhva Mukha. And then lifting your hips for a downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Long deep breath. Feel free to do lots of noise. Good. Let's keep moving. Right leg lift. Knee to chest. Coming forward in your tiger curl. So now shorten the stand with the left foot. Extend the right leg on the right side. Lift. Good. And coming down, hips down. Lift one more time. And then left hand on the mat. Back to your three-leg down dog. So you have to extend that left foot to come back into the position, the length of your dog, and flip the dog, regular flip dog, reach. Maybe some of you want to come down and reach even more. Maybe moving to wheel from here. If that's part of your practice. Flipping back. So the one that are in wheel and want to flip back, left arm turns inward. So you can flip, bring the right hand onto the mat, right foot outside the right hand. We're moving back into our skandasana. Good. And this time the left hand comes behind the left hip and you reach back. You need a bit of room. I'm kissing my gong nearly. Whew. Coming down. And then flying warrior, fly forward. Good. Hold it. And then back to warrior two. Nice. Looking forward. Windmill the hands. Push the earth away. Lift the left knee. Send the left leg back. And extend. You are in your downward facing dog. Good. Feel free to bounce the head a little bit if you want to. And now you lift the left leg up. Heel to glutes, knee to chest. Left knee is coming forward. Jump the right foot a little forward. Extend the left leg. Reach. Maybe coming down. And reach one more time. And then right hand on the mat. Jump the right foot back. 3-leg down dog, flip the dog, reaching back. Good. And yes, some of you may want to come into wheel from here. If it's part of your practice, maybe opening the shoulders. What's important is to keep the feet parallel. Remember, no Charlie Chaplin on those back bends. And then we come back, so we flip the right hand in, if we are in our wheel, to come back. Left hand on the mat, big step with the left foot outside the left arm. Skandasana. Surfer lunge. And the right hand comes down, and you reach back. Good, and then coming down. We're going to move into our flying warrior. So flying forward. And then coming down, warrior 2. Framing that left foot. Back into your downward facing dog. Downward facing dog, bouncing the head. Now we have an opportunity to jump through. So if you have blocks, I'm going to use the block for you guys. If you have blocks, use the blocks for this because that really helps. You can have the block mat with distance, knees to the chest, and you want to jump into a sitting position. The tip will be to look beyond the mat. So lift your heels, bend the knees, jumping forward. Here we go. Navasana boot. Let's see how we're doing with time. Perfect. Lifting the chest for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Ardha Navasana, head, neck, and shoulder off the mat. 5, smile. 4, 3, don't you love it? 2, and 1. Release the legs, extend the arms back. So if you come to my class, you may know what's coming. We're going to go into plo. And from plo, we're going to move into our pigeon. So plo, bend the right knee, roll forward, slide onto the right side of the hips and send that left leg back. Try to not use the hands. Otherwise, you can obviously use your hands. You can also come into a zigzag, more what we call deer pose, otherwise extending that left leg. I'm sorry for the noise of, I live on a busy street, so you may hear that siren. And just lifting the chest, lifting the heart. Some of you may want to place a little pillow underneath that right hip. And then moving the fingers forward, maybe coming on the side of the mat. And just explore here a little bit of movement at the level of your spine, using the fingertips. Just a nice way to explore here and really observe the area of possibilities into the body. Good. And then maybe coming a little bit more into a still and making a little pillow with your forearms for your forehead. Releasing any emotion that you may want to let go. So we know that there is so many emotion we always want to let go, especially in this busy time around Christmas. There is a lot of stress, especially this particular year where we cannot really spend it or spend our year end the way we usually do. So just letting everything go, it's just a week of holiday. Good. And now plant the hands, tuck the left toes, send the right leg back. You are back into your downward facing dog. Another opportunity to jump through here. So feel free to use the blocks, place them on the side of the mat. Lift your heels, bend the knees, jumping forward into your sitting position, back to boat. And then let the legs down. Let the back come onto the mat, bring the hands back. Point the toes, lift the legs. Bring the feet towards your hands. This time bend the left knee. Slide forward towards the left side, send the right leg back. And you are into pigeon on your left side. So here, of course, you realize that there is one side that is well, different than the other. And adjusting the chin bone, it can come a little bit more parallel, in which case maybe you'll place something underneath the left hip, a block, keeping maybe the right toe stuck. Lift your chest, lift your heart, and then explore one more time. The hands may come wider than the mat. Bend the elbows and just explore the mobility of your spine by moving the spine on the side, forward and back, making some waves, and just seeing where are the area that may need maybe a little bit more love, a little bit more of attention. And then slowly starting to make your little pillow and letting the forehead melt down onto your forearm. Releasing energy, releasing emotions, releasing anything that may be stuck at the level of the hips. We know we always have lots of issues stuck in our tissues. So let it go, let your mat absorb it. Your mat has your back as always. And then lift the chest, tuck the back toes, you're back into your downward facing dog. This time you come forward into a plank and you drop the knees. And you take a little child's pose with the knees super wide. Good, and then you walk your hands towards your knees, pressing the chest off the mat, lifting the hips off the mat. We're going to take a little camel pose. So the hands at the level of the lower back on either side of the spine, just on top of your kidneys. Lift the shoulders up and back, squeeze the glutes, push the hips forward and lift your heart up. Keep the chin more tucked towards the chest, maybe not fully, but slightly, as if you wanted to look at the top front corner of your ceiling. Maybe grabbing your ankles and making sure you lift your heart. Feeling a nice deep back bend here. And then right hand on the hip, left hand on the hip. Hips onto the mat, onto your heels, sorry. Walk your hands forward. Balance, counterbalance this back bend by folding forward. There is a nice variation of this camel pose from a child's pose. So if you know exactly what I'm doing and you know where I'm going, you may want to come with me. If you've never done that, maybe just have a quick look first. So the way we do this is we grab our heels from our child's pose and we start lifting the head of the mat, pressing the heels forward, and you just unfold pretty much like a flower. So lifting the chest, pressing the heels forward, the hips forward, by pushing the heels down. Let's do this one more time. So this is how you unfold. You bring the forehead onto the mat, you press the hands onto the heel, you push the heels forward to start lifting the hips up, and then unfold the spine, chin to the chest. And the way you come out, always hands onto the lower back, supporting the lower back. And maybe the hands are coming forward. Just walk the hands forward while you keep your hips over your knees. Bring the chin of the forehead onto the mat. So see what feels right for you. Maybe you want to keep the forehead down to just protect the cervical. And otherwise, you just want to make sure that you rub the armpit down and in, opening the shoulders. And then press the hand, lift the chest, walk the hands underneath the shoulders. And from here, you want to place the head onto the mat. Make sure you can see your hands, tuck your toes, and then lift into a tripod headstand. So maybe you straddle the legs on the side, making sure the elbows are towards another, and that you create space between your shoulders and your ears. Point the toes, squeeze the glutes. And whenever you're ready, you straddle the legs back, trying to go slow. And you unfold into a sitting position. Just push the hips on the side, the heels on the side, sorry, to bring your hips down. And you're going to take Purvottanasana. Place the hands behind the hips. Press the heels onto the mat. Lift the hips up. Bring the toes down. Squeeze the glute. Lift your chest. Feels good. Push, 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 push. And maybe walk the feet underneath your knees. And then push the hips up. Squeeze the glutes. Tabletop position. Here again, some of you may want to use the block underneath your hands here. That might be useful. Have your hands shoulder width distance, or maybe slightly more, but not too much. Push and then swing the hips back, press the heels, point, lift for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake the legs. Inhale, lift your hands up. And then exhale, folding forward, maybe grabbing the edges of the feet, maybe letting the hands down. I'm going to take a more yin variation, so feel free to come with me. Just releasing any muscle tension and letting the gravity do the alignment. So you let the weight of your head tilt forward. You feel a nice stretch at the level of the neck. I'm just taking a few breaths here. Good. And then you start pressing the hand to lift your head off the mat. Walk the hands towards your hips, bend the knees. Come onto your back. Good. Bridge, maybe supported bridge with the block. So you want to have the feet hip distance. Start feeling by lifting the tailbone, the sacrum. You feel the lower back, middle back lifting. A bit of the upper back. Slide the block on the long side. So this is really, obviously everyone is different. Maybe some of you will come here. Otherwise, I recommend that you come here and you take it into the length. You know, the sacrum is a triangle bone, so you want to take the length of that block to support your hips nicely. And maybe just let the palm face up, feeling the shoulder blade, the neck. Maybe bring the chin to the chest to connect your neck as much as possible. Of course, we know it depends on the shape of your head. If you have a big hard drive at the back of your head, it might be tricky. And that's okay. It doesn't make you a lesser yogi. Some of you will stay here, and that is amazing. Some of you will come into bridge without the block. And some of you will come into wheel, so placing the hands underneath the shoulders by the ears, keeping the feet parallel, and then pushing up and lift. Maybe walking the feet towards your hands a little bit. So many variation. If some of you want to take variation, if you want to come into a 3-leg wheel, make sure that you have a triangle shape with your feet, so that you have a nice feet and hands, right? And bring the knee to chest first. So the standing foot is coming to the center, and then maybe you extend. Some of you may want to grab the ankle 1 time, 2 times. Or extend the legs a bit. Feels good. The way you come back from your wheel is chin to the chest. So that you bring the shoulders first onto the mat. Then the way you come in, you come out. So lower back, upper back, middle back, lower back. sacrum. Extend the legs first. Just rehabilitate the spine. Palms are facing forward. Shake the legs a little bit if you want to. Good. Staying here in your shavasana. So let the feet open on the side. Let the palm face up towards the sky. Let the body be completely symmetrical to your midline. And now scan your body from the toes all the way up to your head and make sure that every muscle is 100% relaxed. So I know we often 80% relaxed. Give me 100% relaxation now. So check from the feet, the ankles, the calf, the knees, the quad, hamstring, relax. Hips and glutes, relax. Lower back, middle back, upper back. Completely relaxed onto the mat. Sink down and relax the shoulders, relax the hands, the fingers, the arms, the neck, the back of your head. And now relax every muscle of your face. So on the jawline, we often have a lot of tension here. Relax the neck, relax the back of your eyes, the muscle behind the eyes. Relax your forehead. Relax your breath. And stay here in shavasana. The only thing moving is your natural breath coming in and out of your nose. Now start moving your fingers, your wrists, your feet. Take a big stretch towards the back of the room. Maybe roll on the right or on the left side using your forearm as a little pillow for a moment. And then use your hand to lift yourself up to come into a sitting position onto the mat. And take a long deep breath in through the nose. Feel the belly, feel the chest, feel your heart. And then exhale. A big sigh out. Hands in prayer in front of your heart center. Bow down. Namaste. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this short practice. And I'll see you very soon on the mat, yogis. Bye.